she was here. The year that Silvana was married, she was here with my cousin and another aunt of mine, and which my other aunt is now dead too. She died just last year. And yeah, her name was Aunt Domenica, and she was my father's sister, and she never married. And, but she had developed it to way past the 60th year. She developed it as well. So it's in the blood. So it's something that you have to look after in there. What else you want to know?
I'm going to say it first. Okay.
So what else you want to know?
I want to ask you, when did you learn English? When you were in...
Well, when I went to, I learned it when I went to England.
When you were 12?
When I was 12. Well, apparently I had learned it quite good when I was in Scotland, that I was then, because even though I was 3 years old, my mother used to send me to the store to get milk and bread and everything, so I knew that. But then, like, I went back to Italy, went to school there and everything. So when I went back to England, I didn't know any English. And I didn't go to school to learn it, but I learned it, like, from other kids. And also, I learned it because my father had taken a cafe on rent for a while, and I was working there helping him. You know, I used to be in the kitchen doing, only had small things to cook, like sausages and eggs and bacon and little things like that, and pies and things. Nothing that you have to be a cook about. And I learnt it there through reading the comics in the papers. Yeah. The comics of Little Orphan Annie. I used to love that comic. And there was a couple of young fellows that used to come in the things, and they would explain words to me. And that's how I learnt it. So, and I kept it up by reading, by not exactly learning the right things, but that's learned it on my own.
Is that how you learned to write and stuff too?
Well, to write, I learned by using the dictionary, and I'm no great speller yet, because I don't practice it enough. I've never done that enough. But actually, to write it, I only have attempted after the kids got big, and you know, trying to write them notes and that when I went away and things like that. Otherwise, before I never bothered. I've loved reading for years, and I would read English rather than read Italian, because I knew that Italian I could read at any time, but I would read English, and even maybe I didn't understand all the words, I liked it better, and I'm still one for reading. I love reading. I'm not a fast reader. I'm a slow reader, but I love to read books, romances especially.
Yeah.
But no, I like historical books, and I like romances, and I don't really like murder mysteries. I don't like science fiction. No. Your father is the one for science fiction. Yeah, he's the one for science fiction. Yeah. But I like to read, and that's it.
What grade did you go to in Italy?
Oh, well, I would go to what's equivalent to a grade 8 here, because I only had really 4 years of school. That's all. So I had my exams when I was 10 years old, went to school at 6, When I was 10 years old, I did my exams. And, but you see, like what we used to call grade 1, 2, and 3, you see, it would be like in grade 1, you learned as much as you would learn here from 1 to practically 4. And in grade 2, you went from 4, say, to 7. And then actually it would be like, grade 9 I would be. And, or maybe even grade 10 from the way that I see the children progress in here. Because we had to take a lot in 1 year. You progress right away. Because the moment you went into school, you learned to write. Right away, you started doing your letters. And you did your multiplication table immediately. Within the first month, you already had to know your multiplication table up to about the fourth multiplication. And you did your writing in what do you call it? You know, block letters.
Okay.
You know. Spelling came about halfway through. You already began to spell. But you see, in the Italian language, you write exactly the same way as you're saying it. You see, so all you have to do is to block your letters, and that's it, and you learn. Because it's not like in English when you say it's the, and it's not the. It's not a D, it's a TH. You know, that's why, you know. So all you had to learn was your alphabet and your vowels. A, I, B, C, A, I, E, A, you know. So therefore, you know, once you knew your ABC and the ABCs don't have all the letters that the English ABC has. Because there's no W, there's no Y, there's no K, there's no J, and there's another one, it's 5 that's not there. And so what is the other one? There's no K, there's no J. I don't even know why. There must be only 4. Can't think of another one. But those are not in there. In the Italian ABC. So, that's it. Voilà.
So, where did you live in Italy? What part of the country?
Oh, in a little village. About, not quite the Midlands, a little bit north of the middle of Italy. A little bit north of that.
Is there a name for it?
Yeah. Name is Valdena.
Okay.
And the district is Borgofaro, and the province is Parma. And the province is Emilia. That would be like it's like Ontario. That would be Emilia. Then like Scarborough would be Parma. Would be the city. No, the city like Toronto would be Parma, and then the actual district like Scarborough, that would be Borgofaro, and then like I'm living here in Stanford Street, that would be Valdena, but it would be a little village. So, because they're all the country is all little villages. You see, where not the city. Like Parma is the city. Bologna is the city. All inside what would be like Ontario. And it's and all different ones. There's a lot of different. Piacenza is another big city. All within the space of the Emilia. And if you look it up in the Italian map, you will find that Emilia is like here. Then up here is Lombardia, and up here is the Alps. so that